What made you lose respect for someone? Consistent duplicity. My roommate brought her new boyfriend over and he seemed funny and charming, I guess, but then he said the R word a few times. It really surprised me, like who says that still? I'm neurotypical and I've known my whole life that it's just not something you say. He turned out to be a dick anyway, glad she got rid of him, smile. Found out a co-worker doesn't brake for geese crossing the road. He just runs them over because they're just geese. As a kiddo I loved my godmother even though she smoked. We lost touch for a while and I started visiting her again as a teen. She has an autistic niece a year older than me, so she's showing me pics to catch up and she gets to some ultrasounds of her grandbabies and is cooing over them. Then we get more ultrasounds and she says, oh, yeah, those are A's, but who cares because she's a D. I was shocked into silence and left as soon as I could find an excuse to. A is a lovely person and is high functioning from what I could tell the one time I hung out with her, from a different town. I was really upset that this person I had idolized could treat another human with such disdain and rudeness for a genetic condition she was born with. Needless to say, I don't talk to my godmother unless I need to now, and actually had a conversation with my mom asking why another one of her friends who we both see more isn't my godmother instead, not that it matters anymore since I'm an adult. She pretended to be my friend and spread false rumors about me. Then she got with the guy I had a crush on for a little over 4 years. Then made me lose basically all my friends who knew me longer than they knew her, because she decided to spread more rumors and bring up past mistakes I made just to add to those rumors. Yeah, no respect and a huge fireball of hatred I now have for her. When my manager left for vacation for 2 weeks, then extended it 4 months. When he came back, no one wanted him back. He came and apologized to me, but then I heard almost immediately after he tried to blame me for something he forgot to do. Then took another 2-week non-approved vacation. He got rightfully demoted. From the whole freight team, from the deepest part of our hearts, fuck you, Paul. Years ago when was in grade school I had a bus driver that I really liked. She'd been our driver for years and I thought she was a nice woman, however that changed after we got a couple of African American kids on our bus route. Our school was small and up until then we didn't have any African American kids on our bus. I was up front one afternoon and heard her muttering under her breath after dropping them off. I can't remember if she used the N-word, but it was very clear that she didn't like the kids on her bus and why. I didn't bother saying anything to my parents because my dad wouldn't have let my mom call the school and complain because he didn't want to get anything started, a phrase I heard whenever something bad or unfair happened at school or anywhere else. This was back in the 80s. I never liked that driver again. I don't think she ever treated the kids bad, which I suppose is to her credit, but her attitude disgusted me. Treating pets as temporary or disposable companions. Friend bought a dog and gave him up when he ended up too much work. I adopted him myself, he's still mine. 2 years later, she did the exact same thing again. Bought a dog and have him up. This woman just, and I kid you not, bought her 3rd dog. When Redditors downvote me in mass for having different political views, makes me lose respect for them instantly. My grandmother didn't put me in my father's obituary in his hometown paper. She put my mother, my aunt, uncle, and cousin, but not me. I was 9 when he died. I set up a couple good friends of mine, they ended up dating for a while but didn't really ever put a label on it. Whilst this was happening, he drunkenly told me one night, almost with pride, that he was talking to so many women. I told my friend, who of course ended things with him. He then turned on me and my partner, who he was closer with, and managed to cause our entire friendship group to just fall apart. Rough summer. Looking at anyone's social media. Beer league hockey. Had a few friends that I thought I was pretty close with. Invited them to join the team despite the fact that neither of them had ever played organized hockey. But it was beer league and we needed bodies, and they could skate well enough that they could pass. Anyway, after 5 seasons we lost one of our best players and had a really down year. I think we won 10 games and lost the other 20. So pretty bad but not lose every game bad. To compensate we brought out a ringer for a few games. He was pretty good and helped our team win some games. Anyway, my friends decided after that season to reach out to this guy and ask to join his main team. Completely bailed on us because we weren't good enough for them. Haven't spoke to them in 3 years and I regret not telling them off in front of the entire team after the last game. I don't care if you want to play with other friends, but the fact that they weren't even good friends with this guy really pissed me off. It was good to finally realize how little they valued our friendship. I don't even know if they realized what they were doing at the time. But the next season we won the provincial championship, so fuck 'em. Learning about their views to find they are stupid, bigoted, etc. I'm a white guy with a STEM job that works with a shop guys, so people assume things about me and show their true colors a lot. Lots of just plain racist, like I should go shoot BLM supporters levels Trump supporters. Creationists and other anti-reality zealots. Anti-vax. Various conspiracy supporters, flat earth, 5G stuff, COVID hoax people that are against taxes for childish libertarian reasons. A guy literally told me he shouldn't have to pay gas tax because his truck didn't need roads. So many young men against universal health care because they personally don't go to the doctor, and apparently don't understand they still pay premiums. Lots of lonely people with a worldview based on them being alone and not having anyone else they give a shit about. My friend said that they liked vanilla more than chocolate ice cream, and then a couple days later said mint chocolate chip ice cream would be better without the chocolate chips. When my grandfather died, my aunt let her friend take a ton of his belongings to sell and split the profits. Instead of owning up and apologizing, she tried to pretend like she didn't purposely plan all that out, brought back maybe 10% of everything they took, bought a house in another state hours away and left. Oh, and my cousin was taking my grandfather's belongings while he was laying there dying. That really pissed me off too. They cared more about his stuff than they cared about him. Not an ounce of respect for them anymore. A group of my friends were booking a holiday and I trusted 2 of them to book 2 rooms for 3 to accommodate 6 in total. They booked a room for 2 and a room for 4, and thought they'd get away with squeezing 3 of us into the room for 2. They thought they'd be able to move the beds between rooms. They wouldn't cancel it as they selfishly wanted a bigger room for themselves but expected us all to pay the same amount. Holiday did get cancelled and I never spoke to them again after I was screamed at and bullied for disagreeing with their decision. When they stop treating you like you've been treating them. Hearing someone say a slur they aren't supposed to say, for example, a white person saying the N-word. My grandparents had a car accident. My grandma survived with little injuries, but my grandpa got the worst part and after some weeks he passed away. My dad was the first to know about the accident, the one that went to the hospital every day, made the hospital papers, funeral papers, etc. After some years my grandma, dad and his 2 sisters had an interview with the forensic psychologist due to the insurance. My dad told them the truth. It was painful but life goes on. My aunts made a whole dramatic scene and because of that the insurance paid them more. When my grandma questioned this, my aunt said that my dad should have acted more and refused to split the insurance money in equal parts. Oh God, the list of examples I could include is so long. Everything from verbal abuse to financial embezzlement. All those motherfuckers are forever banned from my life. Cheating in a Minecraft speedrun, lying about it for multiple months, and then admitting they accidentally cheated. Finally deleting the admittance hours later. My mom had to cut ties with a longtime friend due to COVID. My mom had COPD and has recently found a mass in her breast that has to be removed. My sister has Asperger's but does a damn well job of raising her daughter while taking care of my mom. This friend called my sister a dictator and abuser, saying she was holding my mom hostage inside during COVID so she couldn't live or play bingo. My mom willingly only ever spent time with family she knew was regularly tested for her own safety. This same friend turned around, guilted my mom into hanging out with her while not wearing a mask the whole time. Come to find out, she tested positive for COVID right after that forced hangout. My mom thankfully did not get it and has had her vaccine, but the rage inside her was never before seen. I wasn't associated, but it has driven me to cut off that woman and her kids because she's raised them all to act the same and be hateful people who judge everyone for everything. This is the same family that outcasted my sister when she got pregnant because it was out of wedlock, but also because of her autism. None of them ever apologize for their actions, and I never want to be around when they finally do. I love my mom too much to have her safety and well-being disregarded like that.
With